Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Farhan. My ID number is 20249636. And now I'm gonna talk about my research about Qatar Airways. Maybe one of you doesn't know what is Qatar Airways. Well, Qatar Airways is the world's most well-known airlines in the world. They are 100% stated owner, where the government are included with their financial, with their system, with their future investment, and all other stuff. This airline is located in Hamad International Airport in Doha, Qatar, where they become a transit for any passengers around the world to go to another destination. They also cover almost anywhere in the world. First, they have covered Europe, Oceania, Asia, Middle East, South America, and North America. There's a lot of package that passenger can use. Well, for example, they have premium. They also have for business class, economy class, and also first class. So this Qatar Airways is one of the most airlines in the world, of because they are luxurious and they are most well high educated service from the workers. Now we move on to the next section of this video, which is characteristics. One of the characteristics of this airline is national flag carrier for Qatar. This means it will become an ownership, a symbol or logo for Qatar, as this airline is very most well known around the world. So when everyone thinking about Qatar Airways, and they will think about Qatar itself. Second, they use modern fleet in aircraft, where they use the latest technology in the world, where it contains Airbuses, and also the one of the biggest airplanes in the world is Boeing 747. Besides that characteristic, they also operate a hub and spoke system, where the Doha airport itself become a transit for any person or any passengers that come around the world to go to very far destination. For example, if you are from Malaysia, if you are from Malaysia, you want to travel around the world. Let's say you want to travel to Brazil, then you have to take a fly airplane, go to the Doha for change transit, and then take a different plane travel to the Brazil. This system is very good, and but at the same time, it has also flaw where it can make the travel time much longer. Last but not least, one of the characteristics of this airline is the focus are strongly on the customer satisfaction, where they are focusing on the treatment, safety, and the satisfaction of the customer, where the customer feel safe, feel comfortable, feel good, feel satisfied with all the service they provide. And also they are very pressure about the safetyness on the airplane. For example, they have the safety measure, safety drill for any kind of incident happens, so that all the passengers, all the cabin crew, all the pilots will be safe when anything incident happens. Now we move on to advantages and disadvantages. For advantages, as I said just now, this airline is contain of very luxurious item and also very high quality of customer service. It means from the booking the ticket to the main go through the main gate and go through the airplane, all the safety, all the system, all the steps are requiring a best service that they have provided. It means, for example, from booking, it's easier for them to book or go through the immigration or the tracking or any illegal substance. They will do provide a very good high standard skill, where all the guards will do all for the illegal substance and make them careful research and search and search. The next one is high safety standard, where they are focusing on the safety of the passenger itself, from the carrying the illegal substance into the of the terrorism incident that will happen at 9/11, or maybe the safety of the pilot itself, where the pilot feel conscious, feel energy, and also feel motivated to drive or to drove the aeroplane. And also, last but not least, you have a wide global route network where, like I said just now, you can travel around the world with this airline, whether you are from the outside of this world, whether you're from west to east, whether you're from south to north. You also can use this airline to use as your transportation to go to your destination. Now we move on to disadvantages. First, it is expensive flight ticket. Well, if you want a good service, you need to pay for higher price. Whereas same for this situation, where these expensive flight tickets is include from all the best service they provide. For example, for the bookings, for the luggage treatment, all the system they provide is very good, and that's why it's priced so high. Next one is longer travel time on some journey. Like I said, maybe some of the journey that go to from the end of the world to another AF the world, from west to east, is very far, so they need to take transit, and sometimes it can take 1 or 2 3 hours late because we need to wait for the transit to happen. Like I said just now, if you're from Malaysia and you want to travel to Brazil, you can use this transit, but on the transit maybe you have to wait for 4 to 5 hours, and it can also make your what time is waste, and also your journey will become not very smooth as your plan, and then we will be rushing. Last but not least, they also charge for extra fee for every seat selection, especially in the economic section, where if you want to sit on the window, on the aisle, front aisle, back aisle, you are next to the bathroom also, you have to pay, because nowadays a lot of incident happen where every passengers sometimes switch the seat accidentally. So they want to provide this action. They must have to ah. The next one is extra fee for seat selection, where all the passengers need to pay extra charge for choosing your seat, whether you want to sit in the front aisle, the back aisle, or the middle aisle, next to the window, next to bathroom, or even near to the pilot room. You also need to pay extra because they want to secure your spot and don't want any incident happen, like in nowadays, about people stealing other seats. So in avoid to that incident happen, they use this service, but at the same time they charge for it. Maybe some other airline doesn't charge, but this airline is contained of the luxurious or the safety. So they need to do what have to do, and also for this happen to do, they need to do extra work, and the extra work makes extra money. That's why we need to pay extra for sitting there, choose the seat. Now we move on to airline infrastructure and route network. As you can see, I shown you, they are very good deliver airline infrastructure that support the global operation, where if you have troubles with flight delays, or even your cargo is stuck at somewhere, you can use the airlines infrastructure that provide in the airport, such as hotel, lunch, or maybe for the cargo you have the um uh, just a warehouse. Maybe you can store items. For all this kind of infrastructure, is very good for your business or for your journey, because it also can help you to be safe and comfortable. For example, you have a flight delay around 10 hours. Instead you waiting in the seat just for hold enough just say, you can take a room and then you can rest at the hotel. They also provide a lunch for maybe if you are first class user or first class passenger, or even passenger also can use this lounge for them to rest, to have a drink, to have a toilet break. So all this kind of infrastructure is very good for the service, and also can make the Qatar Airways reputation more higher, and also it can increase the ranking in the world. Next one is the route network. As I said just now, it covers almost around the world, where it covers Europe, Asia, Oceania, South and North America, and almost anywhere. where because they have a lot of connection with other international airport, so they can use this kind of opportunity to become one of the most used transportation for airlines in the world. And also this Qatar Airways is one of the member of One World, so they will use this opportunity to have a connection with other airlines and also make the situation for easier. Now we move on to policies, issue and stakeholder. As you can see, the policies vary a lot. The first one is ticket booking, where we can have a guidance for the customer service. They can help you how to book. If you got any problems, any trouble, you can use the guidance to help you book the ticket. The next one is baggage allowance, where there's a track for the baggage where can you can keep checking of your baggage wherever it's lost, or maybe it's misplaced at some place, so you can use all the baggage checking and then located your baggage. The next one is flight change. If you got any last minute plans that you need to change your flight, they will provide a organize a new route, or maybe they will use a new different tickets or new different time based on what your preference of your flight change. And if you got any problems with the flight, for example from the weather condition or got traffic issues with the airports, they will inform you about the flight change. And at the same time you can use the infrastructure as the lounge for waiting the times. The next one is cancellation and refunds, where if you want to cancel your ticket or refund your ticket, there will be a set or the guidance how to do that and make it easy as for you can claim easily your money back. And also there will be some charge of the refunds. For example, if you got 2 hours left before the flight happening, so there will be some charge there will you can charge 10% or 5% of your ticket's price, so it will cost all the losses from the cancellation. The next one is customer support. If you got any complaint, any report or problems that you want to do, you can go to straight the customer service. They will have a call line which is located at the ticket of the booking. And also the service they provide is very good. The customer service will answer your question carefully, sincere, and give the best answer you can have for your any inquiry question or problem you currently have. Move on. Next one is the passenger security. As I said before, they will do a scanning where they can have a metal detector for check any illegal substance such as firearm or weapon, sharp things, like a knife, a katana blade. All these kind of illegal items is will prohibited from entering the main gate. The next one is environment sustainability, where they are working as the airline that do the transportation. They also want to save the world by improving their sustainability. For example, they will be more or less using a vehicle that use a less use a fuel. For example, they will be use a motor luggage carrier rather than use the oil or engine motor luggage carrier, because they can save the earth and also save the cost, and also they can reduce the carbon dioxide that coming from the oil engine luggage carrier. The next one is employees policies, where the employees also have the limit restricted and also have a training schedule that need to know all the protocol they can do. So if got any happen between employees and the customers, they will follow the protocol to move further on the cases and see what they truly follow the laws of the what happened based on the incident. Then the next one is quality and service. They will maintain their service and quality as good as possible because their reputation is on the line. So if they have very bad reputation, we as a passengers can report this kind of attitude, this kind of problem to the customer service. So a higher level person or manager can take a action and do what they need to be. The last and but not least, the legal Last but not least, the legal regulatory compliance. It means that they have a sign a contract where they got any incident, any problem happen, they have a insurance, or maybe they have a medical insurance, for example, they have a crash issue. So any any problem that occur, they will be handled smoothly and as soon as possible with no restraining or obligation for the customers. Now we move on to the issues of this Qatar Airways, where the first one is the intense competition. As you know, in this world, there's a lot of airlines that compete at the same time for this market. We have competitors like Emirates, Firefly, AirAsia, and although other any countries airlines they're fighting for the ranking, well as the Qatar Airways that which are ranking at very high at this moment. They want to contain their reputation and keep the position high as high as they can. So there will be the best choice for every passengers to use the transportation airlines. The next one is the rising of fuel the increase of fuel prices. While the fuel price is increased, the cost for every flight, every movement, every transportation is going to be increased. At the same time, they need to increase the price of the tickets because they want to contain the margin of the profit. Well, when the price is increased, the demands of the tickets will be reduced very as bad as possible because when this happen, many of people cannot afford this pricey ticket. So they need to find a better option, which is need to choose a different airlines. So when this happen, Qatar Airways will have problems with the income. Last but not least, the big impact on performance. Well, you need to train where the Qatar Airways need to train their employees very well because if one of two employees do a problem that make the name of the Qatar Airways bad, so they can break down all the reputation they built as, as before this, and the name of Qatar Airways will no longer be the most well known and also will be the most hated names in the airlines industry, and it can make the company going down and bankrupt. So to prevent this happening, they must training their employees to give the best service they can and also maintaining and on the high quality service and on the consistency is very good. For the last session for this part of slide, which is the stakeholder of this company. First, we have the government of Qatar. Well, I said just now, this company is 100% state owned. So that means government of this country will include on this system of financial or maybe planning for the investment in the future. The next one stakeholder is passenger or customers because they are one of the main source income in this country in the company. So they're one of the most important stakeholders in this company. The next one also one of the most important is employees. Well, these employees will provide the service, all the tracking, the record for the customer. So it's easy for them to keep track of the record of the flight, of the duration of the flight, or maybe the booking that may preserve all day long. So that means employees also need to have a high skill to do all these kind of things. The next one is the shareholders or owners. As if you know, as I said, it's 100% state owned, but also have a shareholders there where they can invest to this company to maybe build a new project in the future. And also the owners will become like a true middle person for this company to the government. So it means any report details that been through for this year will go through this to the owner or the CEO, and then the CEO will represent this report to the government. For the last session is suppliers and the manufacturers, where there will be supplies oil, supplies spare part for airplane or even aeroplane itself. And then as the main manufacturer, will be send some maintenance engineer to maintain the aeroplanes. Where this not as important as employee or passenger, but they need to be at the place at the right time. For example, if the plane has a broken engine, or maybe they have not enough of fuel, to lack of the fuel reducers. So this kind of stakeholder will be at the time, and then will be save the day, and also will help the system go smoothly, the airflow, the flight all will be go smoothly, and make sure the safety also of the passenger will be high in the high condition. Now we move on to the case study, and I choose this case study is with 2020 Doha Airport for strip search. It's a story about 13 Australian female passengers. They need to be strip searched because they are be accused to bring a illegal substance on them on their body. But these 13 passengers are saying that they didn't bring any illegal substance, and at the same time, they report these cases to the Australian Ministry, and then it's a happen a fight between Qatar and Australia, where will be they are these 13 Australian passengers are going to sue the Qatar Airways because of this kinds of incident happen. At the end of the cases, it shows that there will be no more. The case is still going, and in the 2025, well, they want to they don't want to keep going these cases. The Qatar Airways will give the compensation and give the apologize to all the 13 passengers because of this incident. And the moral of these cases, it shows that the Qatar Airways want to contain and keep their names in the airline, so they don't want any kind of this incident happen that can ruin their names and also ruin their reputation in this airline market. Because I say just now, there's another airline that's competing at the same time, so they don't want to let this kind of small matter that can ruin their names. Now we move on to recommendation and conclusion. For this recommendation, I think they need the first one. I think they need to improve the ticket affordability, as well. There's not a very rich people in this world, so to ensure that everyone can feel the experience of using this airline, they need to make this ticket affordable, and maybe reduce the prices for maybe for the un capable of passengers. For example, for economy classes, they can do like promotion offers, or maybe a cut price where at the same at the some point or sometimes for them, for others passenger that want to feel the experience, can grab this opportunity. The next one, they can also expand the flight route, where they can make this airline go further by traveling more around the world. Maybe they can reach to Antarctica, maybe can reach to Iceland, Greenland, or the north and the south country. They can reach more viewers or more passengers to use this airline because of the route network is more bigger. Next one is provide more flexible booking options, where we can book it online, we can book it via calls, or maybe some of them they have no time, they just use an AI chat box to make an order of the booking of the flight. And I think it's a new improvement that this airline can do for make the methods more easy, and also helping passengers to be more less stressful with booking this flight. Maybe more easy guidance, like I said just before. The last one is the strengthen sustainability efforts. As you know, using this kind of transport is can contribute to the greenhouse effect, or maybe they can use alternative way. For example, they can use alternative fuel for change for the diesel fuel they use for airplanes. Maybe they can do R&D, research and development, to find an alternative fuel that can reduce the the release of carbon dioxide, and also it can make the eco-friendly. And for conclusion for all this research, I think Qatar Airways is very well known around the world, and I think I hope this airline can contain their reputation and maintain their reputation as well, and also be one of the best well-known airlines in the world. That's all for me. Thank you for listening to the video, and my name is Farhan. And Assalamualaikum.